Since its opening 15 years ago, and I remember it when I was the mayor of Union City, and getting 12 mayors in Hudson County to come together to agree on just about anything is a difficult proposition. But to agree on a route line in which the proposed light rail was going to take place was in and of itself an enormous achievement at the time. And I remember being the mayor of Union City and being an advocate for the Union City stop, which at that time was not on the route line, and made it very clear that people on the top of the Palisade needed access to that waterfront as well. And to make a long story short, it ended up being one of the station stops, and it is the point on the line that is the most traveled section. So I think I was vindicated over time to insist on it then. Since its opening 15 years ago, the Hudson-Bergen Light Rail system has been a national model for what a transit project can be. And it's that national model that we were exhibiting to the regional administrator of the Federal Transit Administration, as well as New Jersey Transit's executive director, who knows the system very well, but hosting the regional administrator and others to understand what transportation infrastructure can do, particularly a light rail line, and why we seek to expand it. Our light rail system is about more than just moving people from one place to another. It's about investing in our shared economic future. The Hudson-Bergen Light Rail line has been a magnet for community development, attracting thousands of new residents who want to live in a thriving, walkable community with access to good transit. And with that influx of new residents, you also get an influx of new businesses, creating employment opportunities, boosting property values, and making the neighborhood a more vibrant community. So the vision for this light rail line was about more than just transportation. It was about neighborhood revitalization, new jobs, building an economy, and communities we could all be proud to call home. And I remember looking at some of the press corps here, who seems to be definitely younger than I am, that in fact, if you came along what was the Gulf Coast, now named the Gulf Coast, you would see abandoned railroad yards stretching from Jersey City and Hoboken, and iconic businesses like Maxwell and others that had closed and laid fallow for a long period of time. And if you talk to any of those who ultimately brought the opportunity for new development and the jobs that flowed from it and the commerce as well as the rateable bases that grew from it, they would tell you that the infrastructure of the light rail system was essential in order to make that Gold Coast gleam and be the reality that it is today. So this is about moving communities towards a brighter economic future. And we have the opportunity to expand that future to more New Jerseyans by extending the light rail system. For example, the Jersey City West Side extension is a perfect example of how to build on the original successes of the Hudson-Bergen Light Rail. By extending the existing line towards the western waterfront, we can help support new jobs and enhance economic development. And in Bergen County, local officials have developed a route for their own extension up to Englewood Hospital. These light rail extensions, and I know the mayor here in Hoboken is talking about a new station stop, and these are among other suggestions as well, will spur economic development and connect residents with jobs. But we need to work together to make them a reality. As the senior Democratic senator on the Transit Subcommittee, part of my work is to oversee the New Starts program, which provides federal funding for new transit routes. Right now, transit lines are being planned and built across the country as part of New Starts: a commuter train in the Bay Area, a new subway line in Los Angeles, a streetcar in Tempe, and a light rail project in Houston, just to name a few. All cities that are building new transit lines recognize that transit ridership has reached the highest level in 58 years and are responding to the demand. But while these cities are building, we've been idling. New Jersey doesn't have any projects currently in the New Starts pipeline. We're talking about a program that's investing upwards of $2 billion of federal funding in infrastructure projects, and that has been getting upwards of $2 billion from the federal government every year. New Jersey can't afford to be cut out of a $2 billion pie. It's time for us to turn these projects into a reality. We need to make tough decisions about how to fund a long-term transportation bill in Washington, and to resolve our problems here at home in terms of the Transportation Trust Fund, we need the legislature to work with the governor to come up with a funding solution if we want to make projects like the Hudson-Bergen Light Rail extensions a reality. It's going to take cooperation from the local, state, and federal government. I'm ready and willing to do the hard work. I'm proud to have the county executive, Mayor Fulop, and the other mayors who are here with me as committed partners in this effort. And if we work collectively and meet our challenges head on, we can improve on the successes of the past and together build a bright future for New Jersey. Let me call upon someone who has been an ardent advocate from his days on the Jersey City City Council, his years as the county executive, and his advocacy particularly for the West Side extension as well as other opportunities for the light rail system, the county executive of Hudson County, Tom DeGise.